This video is the second section from Module 2 of Week 2. We continue in this video from the first, where we would be focusing on the classroom details that has to be understood by us as teachers to implement the school's curriculum so that meaningful learning would take place. We're going to look at a number of things here. We will look at evaluation, we look at the evaluation of the curriculum, we look at learning experiences, learning activities, teaching content, and teaching processes. During week 1, we looked at the concept of assessment. What is done in the classroom to know if learning outcomes of a lesson are met. In other words, if learning would have taken place. Evaluation is a broad view of assessment. It is systemic determination of merit, worth, and significance of something or someone using criteria against a set of standards. That's from Wikipedia. Another definition says that evaluation is to draw, to assess, to compute an expression. Another one says evaluation is a process of making a judgment based on criteria and evidence. I like to say that evaluation is the accumulation of all forms of assessment in coming up with an overall conclusion of performance. The question is asked here, what is curriculum evaluation? Well, curriculum evaluation is the process of obtaining information for judging the worth of an educational program, procedure, educational objectives, or the potential utility of alternative approaches designed to attain specific objectives. Curriculum evaluation focuses on determining whether the curriculum as recorded in a master plan has been carried out in the classroom. In evaluating a curriculum, the following key questions are usually asked. Are the objectives being addressed? Are the contents presented in the recommended sequence? Are students being involved in the suggested instructional experiences? Are students reacting to the contents? Let's look at two types of evaluation, formative and summative evaluation. Now, formative evaluation takes place during the lesson or project and tells the evaluator what is happening. It is ongoing and yields information that can be used to modify the program prior to termination. Now, summative evaluation is a little different. It takes place at the end of a lesson or project and tells the evaluator what has happened. It sums up the learning. Let's look at learning experiences. A learning experience is the interaction between the student and the external conditions in the environment to which she or he can react. A learning experience is an event or are events and activities from which we learn by experience and can identify to a certain extent what we have learned. There are 4 principles to consider when selecting learning experiences. They are: 1. Learning is an active process in which the learner must be involved. And I say they must be involved. Secondly, learning is affected considerably by individual goals and values and motives. Thirdly, frequent repetition of response to a class of situations is important in learning skills. And finally, the wider the range of experiences presented to the learner, the more likely are the generalization and discrimination to occur. In fact, may I say, the more sense organs that are used in the teaching learning experience, the more likely that learning would have taken place. We shall now look at the criteria for selecting learning experiences. The criteria for selecting learning experiences are derived from the following 6 principles of learning, and they are as follows. The validity. Experiences must be closely connected with the educational goals and results in change behavior with respect to the stipulated objectives. Secondly, comprehensiveness. Comprehensiveness demands that all the objectives which are stated should have corresponding experiences. Thirdly, variety. Variable learning experiences should be presented. In other words, we must not make our presentation in the class being the same old every day. Fourthly, suitability. Learning experiences must be closely related to the learner's needs and capacities, interests, and all other factors that which condition learning. Fifthly, there must be balance and continuity. Balancing experiences from outside with others from the learning process itself. And finally, number 6, there must be relevance. Learning experiences should have maximum relation to life. Now let's look at learning activities. Learning activities are those which allow students to engage actively with the content. Learning activities are what students will have to do in order to fulfill learning outcomes. When choosing types of activities, consider the following. 1. What knowledge or skills do you want the students to have at the end of the class or the course? 2. Do you want to integrate additional collaborative activities, case studies, problem solving, etc.? Ask yourself the next question. Do you want to simply keep the students busy, or do you want the activities to promote deeper learning?